On Thursday, June 15, the Catholic bishops of Botswana, Eswatini, and South Africa, who are in Rome for their Ad Limina visit, attended various meetings at the different Vatican dicasteries. Following a meeting with the Chancellor of the Pontifical Academy of Social Sciences, the spokesperson of the SACBC, Archbishop Brislin, asked Cardinal Kodwo Appiah Turkson to share a few words about the importance of the Pontifical Academy of Social Sciences.
I am with Cardinal Kodwo Turkson, who is the Chancellor of the Pontifical Academy of Sciences and the Pontifical Academy of Social Sciences. Cardinal Turkson, it's been a pleasure to be with you this afternoon and this evening. We've really enjoyed being with you, but also with the session that you gave. Could you just describe a little bit about what the Pontifical Academy of Sciences does, what it means, and its importance?
Sure. No, okay, so thanks for the occasion. Thanks for your own visit and meeting all of you bishops of South Africa. Now, we made it a special point to welcome you here to the Academy of the Sciences and Social Sciences, basically because a lot of stuff is done over here, but very little, it's all published on website and line, but very little known. The first point we want to make is that if one misses say anything, the one thing that one should not miss saying is that for a Catholic Church, a religious institution, to have maintained an academy of sciences for over 400 years, starting from 1601, indicates and just proves one thing. For the Catholic Church, there is no tension between faith and science. Otherwise, they would not have kept an academy for this long. Probably one of the first, the first or the one among the first in the world. So this is the first message that we say from here. The Catholic Church has maintained an academy of sciences for over 400 years, since 1601. Galileo was a member of this in 1610. And it just proves the point that for the Catholic Church, science and faith are two pathways to the truth, mutually supportive and collaborative. So faith, as it were, gives direction and guidance to science and reason, while science and reason invites faith to be concrete and to be applicable and real, and it's an endeavor undertaking. So we're glad to have welcomed the Bishop of South Africa here. This is where a lot of the ideas which go to nourish some of the statements that are made by the Holy Father himself or by some of the officers of the Vatican derive their support and derive their the task of proving them, establishing the veracity or the truth of them in any way. And so this is what the Academy is. It's served by 80 top scientists. 6 of them are Nobel Prize winners for the Academy of Sciences. And the Academy of Social Sciences has an equal number of Nobel Prize winners. So with this, one might say that the Catholic Church then has a big, very dependable stock of scientific knowledge to inspire a lot of its teachings, a lot of its ideas. And what the Church comes up with, the Church knows what it's saying. And you can go wrong following the Catholic Church in this regard. Thank you.
Cardinal Turkson, it's been an absolute pleasure to be with you, and we've been very heartened to hear that while the Academy has been made up primarily of people from the Europe and United States and Western countries, that you are really seeking new membership from Africa, from Asia, and that is absolutely wonderful.
Great.
We wish you every success.
And that's also the point, because the Academy, although it's a pontifical, so a Catholic institution, its members come from all over. They are Catholics, non-Catholics, Christians, non-Christians, regardless of gender, regardless of sex, regardless of origin. The one thing that qualifies anybody to be a member of the Academy is scholarly and academic distinction.
And
That's
this
all.
really shows the Catholicity of the Church
Of everything,
and its
right.
openness. Thank you, and many
Thank
blessings.
you.
Earlier on, as some of the bishops attended meetings at the Dicastery for Interreligious Dialogue, the Auxiliary Bishop of Cape Town, Sylvester David, says the meeting was encouraging, especially when looking at ongoing interreligious dialogue.
I'm with Bishop Sylvester David, the Auxiliary Bishop of Cape Town, and Bishop David attended the Dicastery for Interreligious Dialogue this morning. And of course, this is a very pertinent and important issue throughout the world, but also for us as South Africans. Bishop David, are there any interesting points that came out during that meeting?
Yes, the essential nature of interacting with other people of different beliefs, to engage with them even if there are differences, to continue the dialogue. There was appeal to Nostra Aetate, the document from the Second Vatican Council. It's very pertinent, I think, Your Grace, for the work in our Archdiocese, simply because of the engagements we have. Ever since the Holy Father dialogued with Ayatollah Sistani, there's been a dialogue in Cape Town, as you know, with the Muslim community, and certainly the kind of interaction we had today encourages us along those lines.
Thank you. And does dialogue with people of other faiths mean that we avoid the differences, or do we just try to find common ground? How does that work?
No. In fact, the differences give us a backdrop of the rich tapestry that exists in the human community, created by God. People of every tribe and culture and nation, as we read in the book of Apocalypse.
Is there a danger that people think we're trying to proselytize when we enter into dialogue? And is there a difference between proselytization and evangelization, for example?
No, not at all. In fact, we have been engaging for the last few years. COVID has brought it to a halt, but it's being revived again. And there's a constant exchange. There's so much common ground. We share the common earth. The ecological problems are the same. We face the same social problems. And in fact, with the Muslim community, we get together and share on ethics and the faith values that we can bring in to the home, the family, perhaps even the school and the surrounding areas.
And this is done through respecting difference rather
through
than...
respecting differences, embracing otherness. I don't think anyone feels that there is a danger of proselytizing. I like the way you phrase your question, the difference between proselytizing and evangelizing. And just as much as we evangelize them, they also evangelize us. It's amazing how the values of Christ are shared by so many people.
Nobody can put barriers on the work of the Holy Spirit, and the work of the Spirit will work through whom He chooses.
Exactly.
Yes. Did you find it a rich and encouraging conversation this morning?
Yes. So often there are more questions than answers. But I think that's the way it has to be. We've got to go home and reflect and ask more questions and then question the answers again. So,
thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Still on Thursday, the bishops also visited the Dicastery for Culture and Education, which, according to Bishop Neil Frank of Mariannhill Diocese, was very encouraging and an eye-opener as the SACBC explores the possibilities of establishing a Catholic institution of higher education in the region.
I'm with Bishop Neil Frank, and this morning we had a meeting with the Dicastery for Education, I beg your pardon. And the reason why we wanted to meet the Dicastery for Education is because in South Africa we've set up a little committee to explore the possibility of establishing a Catholic Institute of Higher Education that creates a synergy between the three existing institutions in South Africa, St. John Vianney Seminary, St. Augustine's College, and St. Joseph's Theological Institute. So, Bishop Frank, were you pleased with how that discussion went this morning with the Dicastery, and are there concrete steps that have come out of it that will give follow-up and progress in this whole matter?
I was very pleased with the outcome of the meeting and with the duration of that space of interaction with the people in charge of that dicastery. The first message they gave after listening to our story was one of encouragement. And they encouraged us to continue with the vision that we have created. They impressed upon us to start well, because if we start well, we'd end well. And starting with the discussions and the negotiations with the 3 institutes in South Africa was very welcome to them, and they gave a few ideas on how to continue with that. It was very interesting to find some very competent people who understood the higher education internationally, the different regulations of different countries, and that encouraged us to think about how we can resolve the issues or the thoughts we have about South African legislation.